Thanks a lot, AFC always, my brother. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, let's start again. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into the starting 11. Kepa's in goal. William Saliba Mascara at the back. Ben White back from injury and right back. Then we've got Miles Lewis Skelly at left back. Christian Norgard, Wanyeri and Marino in the middle. Saka on the right. Eze on the left. And it looks like Gabriel Martinelli is going to be playing down the middle. And do you know what? I actually like that. The guy who I always do the stream with, we're hoping he's going to jump in a little bit, Dan, negative Dan, as I call him. He's always said that Martinelli needs a chance down the middle. And if you look at where he scored his last 2 goals against Atletico Bilbao, it was the run down the middle. And then, of course, coming on against City, he came on the left, but he actually scored the goal from the right. Him and Saka actually swapped. There's footage of Arteta's assistant going up to Arteta. Just came to hit the light button, calm stop. Appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot, man. Ready to throw to Arteta. Ready to throw at Arsenal got 7 lemons ready to throw at Arteta. I like that, my bro, man. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming to like. Thanks for telling me about the mic on mute. Big yourself up every day. AFC always. Proper gooner, proper legend. Thanks a lot. Give me a scoreline before you go, if you can. Give me a prediction for your scoreline. I think it's really interesting to see that Mikel Merino's also starting, because I think if Mikel Merino starts today, surely that means he's not starting on Sunday. That's just the way I see it personally. Obviously, Eze's back out on the left wing. Saka's good. I actually, some people said they didn't want Saka to start. I wanted Saka to start. 2-1. He's gone 2-1, Yes, AFC always. Big yourself up. 2-1, Surely we've got to score more than 2 tonight. I've got Eze in my dream team, so I'm happy he's in. Who else have I got? I think I've got Mosquera as well. I think that's about it out of the starting lineup, but still hoping that they can do some bits today on my dream team. But yeah, it's mad how it just shows how much depth we've got. The fact we've made 9 changes, guys. We've made 9 changes. And that team still looks so strong. Like if that team was starting a Premier League game, I wouldn't be like, oh shit, I think some fans would probably prefer this team to the team that started against City. Christian Norgard, it'll be his first official start in it, apart from the Emirates Cup. Good to see Ben White back. We're going to have Ben White and Saka together again on that link up. Ben White and Saka, they always seem to link up quite well. So that'll be interesting to see that. Listen, regarding this cup, like, how do we feel about this cup? I actually think this cup could be more important than the FA Cup. And the reason I say that is because the finals in February or March. So this Arsenal team, one thing that's aimed at this team, right, a lot is that they obviously have not won a trophy together. I know some of them, very few of them are in that FA Cup squad now. I'm trying to think who's left. Who's left? I'm trying to think now, guys. Help me out in the comments. Who's left of that FA Cup winning squad? I think it's only Saka, and he didn't start the game. Big up BBK Sports. Listen, give me a prediction today, because I know you can't be negative today. I know you cannot be negative. But yeah, I'm just trying to think. I think Saka's the only guy that's won the FA Cup, right? In this Arsenal team. So Saka and Arteta are the only two that have tasted success. So I just think the Carabao Cup could be really important, because if we do get to that final, the final's in February, the latest is in March, and if you can pick up a trophy then, and if we're still in the title race, or we're in the Champions League quarterfinal where we've already got the taste of winning a trophy, I think it could be massive. I think the FA Cup comes at a really tricky time in January when you've got loads of games going on. You know, everyone knows how busy that Christmas period is, and you might have a league game, you know, away at, say, Sunderland, and then you've got an FA Cup game and you've got to rotate players. And it's, you know, I love the FA Cup. That's the trophy Arsenal have won most, of course. But I feel like Arteta did it last year, right? We had Liverpool in the Carabao Cup semi-finals, and we had FA Cup games and league games, and he prioritized the League Cup over the FA Cup. And I made him right, because we was in the semi-finals. So we were 2 games, it's 2 legs, right? We were 2 legs away from a Carabao Cup final. So I just feel like if Arsenal could get to the final and win this cup, and let's say we're even within 5 points of Liverpool, let's say we're the same stage, we're 5 points off Liverpool, right? Imagine we're 5 points off Liverpool in February, and we've got this cup final, and let's just say we're playing Manchester United, for argument's sake. Let's say we're playing Manchester United, and we play Manchester United in the Carabao Cup final, and we win it. And these players taste success; they taste the trophy. You know, it would be massive for them. It'd be massive for Arteta. That big thing that they've got carrying on their back would be gone. And yeah, I just think it could be really important. BBK says 3-0 today. That's good. That's good. I actually was calling for Gyökeres to start, because I feel like, you know, I know he's got 3 in 5 in the league, but I just feel a couple of goals today would have done him the world of good. But I'm not sure he's even 100% fit yet. I think that's why Saka's playing. Yeah, I mean, the lineup looks good. Robbo just said that. This team could have caused more problems to City, is what NZ Goon is saying. Do you know what? I looked at the team and I actually thought, do you know what? Like, it's actually got me excited. And I know we're only playing Portvale. You see a lot of what happens with a lot of times in these games is everyone thinks that the Premier League team is going to go and smash them. You looked at it yesterday with Chelsea. You know, when you make changes, Liverpool made loads of changes. When you make changes, it is very hard because the team have never played together. But when I look at this Arsenal lineup, a lot of these players have played together. You know, Saliba and Mosquera, well, them two are yet to play as a centre back partnership. That's going to be pretty silky, right? Norgard, Wanyeri, and Marino. I think they played one game in the Emirates Cup, and they wasn't very good at all. I think it's the game we lost to Villarreal. And I actually said that midfield 3 will probably never play again at the time in the stadium. I remember it, but here we are. But I mean, the front 3, you know, it's just pure pace. Martinelli down the middle. I think Arteta could be onto something here. I think he could really be onto something here. And I look, the guy I do the show with, really Schooner, I call him negative Dan. But he's always said that Martinelli needs to be given a run down the middle. And look, his last 2 goals have been scored down the middle. He came on against Bilbao. Yes, he came on the left, but the goal was scored down the middle. He came on against City, and he came on the left, but him and Saka swapped, and he actually went on the right, drifted out into the middle, and Eze found him, and he scored that goal. So, could this be something new that we're going to see? Martinelli's just got a bit of form. If he scores today down the middle, guys, what happens? If Martinelli gets 2 goals today, we win this game 4-0, or whatever the score is. If Martinelli goes and gets 2 goals and plays outstanding down the middle, man of the match, who starts on Sunday, guys? That's what I want to know. Who starts on Sunday? Who are you starting on Sunday if Martinelli gets man of the match and gets 2 goals today? Do you start Gyökeres down the middle, or do you start Martinelli? You know, it's interesting. It's going to be really interesting. Big up everyone in the chat, man. Thanks a lot, man, for tuning in. We're going to be back live straight after the game as well. Let me know what everyone thinks of the lineup. Robo Gunner, Gyökeres still, but not nailed on. This is what I'm saying. Would you still keep long balls and Kepa long balls with Saka, White, Ranieri link up? Yeah, that could be an interesting link up for sure. You know what? It's Mosquera and Saliba. I feel like that's going to be interesting, because they're both so good on the ball, man. It's going to be. This is actually going to. I'm actually really looking forward to watching this game. Do you know sometimes these games, when you're 99% of the time you're going to win, it is a bit more enjoyable watching these games because obviously the emotion's still there. You're still right in there, but at the same time, you can kind of relax a bit. You can kind of relax knowing, look, we've got this, and you get to see some younger players, and we're all hoping. I'm sure every single person right now watching is hoping that we're going to see Max Dowman at some point. And yeah, I think we have to see Max Dowman come on the pitch, and I think that's what we're all waiting for. It's going to be good to see how we play today. Just on Merino being in midfield, do we think that rules him out of starting on Sunday, guys? I personally do. I personally think on Sunday, Mikel Arteta has no choice, especially if Liverpool go and beat Palace, because we will be 8 points behind after only 6 games. So, I think we could see Odegaard and Eze perhaps both play in the middle. I would like to see Zubimendi drop for the Newcastle game. Personally, I would like him at Newcastle to go with Rice, Eze, and Odegaard as a free. I would really like that. But, you just don't know because, of course, Newcastle are so strong in midfield and they've got such physical players. Dowman definitely coming on, says Adam Wavy. Otherwise, he'd be in the under-21s EFL trophy game. That's a very good point. Very, very good point. Ads, do me a favor. Send the link into the Harvest chat with the boys, please, so they can get on it. Send it to Scully and that so they can come and watch as well. But yeah, just how important is this Carabao Cup, guys? I know, look, it's obviously the 4th most important trophy, but I just think for the season, it could be massive. Because if we win this in mid-February, we win a trophy, and let's say for argument's sake, we're 5 points behind Liverpool, and then we go and we win this trophy, it could do wonders for the confidence of the team. It could do absolute wonders. And I really just think that this trophy we need to take really seriously. And look, Arteta does take it quite serious. We've got to the semi-final, I think 2 seasons in a row now. So, yeah, I think it's really important. And I think today we go through. My prediction is, honestly, I think I think we could win this about. Honestly, I know, look, I'm not just being positive, guys. I'm going for 6-1. They might get a goal, maybe. But even with that defense, they probably won't. Let me change it. 6-0. I'm going Portvale 0, Arsenal 6. I know a lot of lads that are going up there today. And I hope they get to see a great game of football. I hope we all get to see a great game of football. And yeah, I'm going for Portvale 0, Arsenal 6. Let me know your predictions in the chat, guys. Big up everyone who's watching right now. Big up Robo Gunner, NZ Guna, And anyone else who's watching, big up my boy Adam Wavy. We're going to try and get him on the show at some point. I need to know what Dan thinks of this lineup, because I'm pretty sure he's going to love it. I'm pretty sure a lot of Arteta haters are going to like this lineup. You know, someone said it in the chat earlier that this lineup could have given City more problems. And do you know what? I think I have to agree. The front three, it looks gorgeous. It looks lovely. Eze on the left, Martinelli in the middle, Saka on the right. You know, the midfield, I'm looking at Mikel Merino, Norgard, Ethan Wanyeri. Like I said, I saw that midfield play against Villarreal in the Carabao Cup, and my words were, we'll never see this midfield play together again. And we were terrible that day against Villarreal. But look, we're playing Portvale. Villarreal are Champions League side or Europa League side, one of the two anyway. But they play European football, right? Skelly, Mosquera, Saliba, and Ben White. That is a great defense. That's as good as most defenses in the Premier League, guys. Let's have it right. Kepa in goal. Of course, we know Kepa. Kepa is essentially for me as a number one, who's playing as a number two. So yeah, I think it's a very strong side. It just shows our depth. This is why I think we could do better in the cups this year. And this is another thing I want to ask. Let's say we finish second in the Premier League and we finish semi-finals in the Champions League, but we win the Carabao Cup and win the FA Cup, because our squad now, we can rotate, we can do it. Would that be enough? Would you give Arteta another season if he only won the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, but came second in the league and got to, let's say, a Champions League semi-final? Adam Wavy, I want to know what you think about that, my friend. Because, guys, if you think that I'm positive, Adam Wavy in the chat here, big him up. I go to some of the games with him sometimes. There's no one more positive. You know, you guys know Ty from AFTV. He's even more positive than him, right? And I think he rubs off on me sometimes. But we need that. We all need someone to sometimes say, listen, guys, it's not the end of the world. We've still got a chance. And that's the same regarding the league title. The league title is not over, guys. It is not over. 100%, the league title is not over. There's a long, long way to go. There's 33 games. Football, things change very quickly. We go now, yeah, right? We win this. Martinelli gets a couple of goals. Saka gets a goal. Suddenly, there's just a little lift, even though it's Carabao Cup. We go to Newcastle. They ain't scoring goals. We go to Newcastle and we do them. And we do them good. Arteta lets off the handbrake a little bit. I could be dreaming here, but look, 2-0, right? 2-0 to the Arsenal away at Newcastle, and Palace get something against Liverpool. Suddenly, you know, even if Palace get a draw, suddenly it's back down to 3 points. And 3 points is nothing. We got to stay in this title race until around January. And in January, we play Liverpool at home. And I remember 2 seasons ago when Liverpool were 5 points ahead of us. And they were top of the table. That year, Liverpool were the ones who bottled the league. I'm talking about not last season, the season before. Liverpool were 5 points clear. And had they beat us at the Emirates, they would have went 8 points clear. But we beat them 3-1. And we cut it down to 3 points. And in the end, it was us and City that ended up running away with it. And City and Liverpool fell away in the end. Obviously, they came back next year and just absolutely smashed it. Adam Wavy, Arteta is going nowhere. He's bringing the trophies. That's right. It's only a matter of time, you know. But what trophies would be enough for you, Adam, though? That's what we want to know. If we won the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, would that be enough for you? Would that be enough? Or are we saying, guys, that Arteta has to win either the Premier League or the Champions League? I want to know, guys. Let me know in the comments. Would you take a Carabao Cup and FA Cup double? Does that save Arteta? Does that give him another season? Does that show he can win trophies? Because this cup tonight, I know we all look down on it and it's the fourth most important one, but I think it could be a massive springboard for Arsenal. If we were to go and win this mid-season, because the FA Cup, right, sometimes it gets in the way because you've got a semi-final of the Champions League. Then you've got to go and play a semi-final at Wembley in the FA Cup. Then you've got a league game away at Everton or somewhere like that. And we're going to be fighting on all fronts. So if you've got this League Cup wrapped up in the bag by mid-February, right? It's also near my birthday, the final, so that'd be brilliant. Also, look, I'm 34. I've seen Arsenal. Well, I was 2 when we last won the Carabao Cup. I've seen loads of FA Cups. And even though it's the better competition, I've never seen Arsenal win a Carabao Cup, a League Cup, whatever you want to call it. I just think it could be really important for that last end of the season, those last 10 games, The Carabao Cup is just before those last 10 games, you know. So yeah, I think it could be really, really important. It could be good for us. I really do think it could be good for us. Let's have a look at this. Hold on a minute. This line up here. Just looking now, Lewis Skelly. I think that is. I'm really happy to see Miles Lewis Skelly in the team. Really, really happy to see him in the team. I think he's been a bit hard done by, to be fair, Lewis Skelly. I think Lewis Skelly is a. He had such an outstanding season last season. And I know, listen, there were a few rash moments towards the end. He got a few red cards. One of them wasn't his fault. But I just feel like he hasn't been used. Okay, maybe not starting, but I would have liked to seen him come on in games more. I would have liked to seen him against City. You know, he was man of the match the last time we played them. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Miles Lewis Skelly play. I think he's got that pass, hasn't he? You know, Calafiori doesn't have that pass. He has that pass in him. So I really think that could be important today. And you look, Lewis Skelly last year, there's no way I would have played Calafiori over him. No way. It's only towards the end of the season, Lewis Skelly started having a few shaky moments, and obviously this season Calafiori started really well. But Lewis Skelly, he's still got a chance. I'm just going to look at the substitutes bench now. Gabriel, Timber, Gyökeres. I want Gyökeres to come on and get some goals, man. Trossard, Calafiori, Zubimendi, Rice, and Dowman. What a bench, man. What a strong. I thought there might have been one or two other kids on the bench, to be fair. But I like this from Arteta. I like it because look, we need some confidence going into that game against Newcastle. And I just hope Marino playing this game. And listen, I don't hate Marino, but I just hope that Marino being involved in this game means that he's not going to start on Sunday. Take it how you will. Of course, we could see some, Eze, Martinelli, and Saka. We could see them interchange. That could happen today. Norgard, big game for him today. Really big game for him. He's come to Arsenal. This is what he's come for Arsenal for. He kind of knew he was going to be a fringe player, but I like the look of Norgard. Ethan Nwaneri. Now, Ethan Nwaneri. Wow, I'm tipping him to do something special today. I think Ethan Nwaneri needs to grab this game by the scruff of the neck. We're playing against a League One team. I think Ethan's got to go in there and say, listen, I want to be starting. Because right now, if Ethan Nwaneri has a great game today, listen, he has got a chance of starting on Sunday. And if he's not got a chance, he's got a chance to come on a lot earlier. Because Nwaneri keeps getting brought on too late in games. I know he came on against Forest quite early, but that was because of an injury. He come on the last 5 minutes against City, and we scored. So I think Nwaneri, today do something. Go and do something, son, and show Mikel that you need to be being played more. Mosquera. Who do we think we might see from the bench? Gyökeres. I'm hoping Gyökeres comes on. I think a couple of goals for him could do him the world of good. Trossard. Yeah, well, if he comes on, he comes on. Zubimendi, I think maybe he needed a little rest. Do you know what? For Sunday, I've actually said for Sunday, they're just showing here, the last time we played Portvale was in 1998, and Arsenal won 4-3 on penalties. 1998, what else happened that year? We won the double. That's the first time I got into football, guys. I was in the Tollington pub with my dad and all his mates, and Arsenal won the Premier League. I remember the Tony Adams statue at the Emirates. Tony Adams scoring that great goal. The famous Martin Tyler, would you believe it? Oh, yes. And Tony Adams just there like that. What a year 1998 was. That just gave me really good memories. I didn't remember that we played Port Vale in the third round of the League Cup. But there you go. Sometimes the omens are there and the stars are aligning. Guys, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe for us. Hit the like button, subscribe. We're going to be going live later on after the game as well. So if you could, we'd love it if you could tune in then. Give me your scoreline predictions, please. Guys, what do we think about the Carabao Cup in general? Because, look, Arsenal, we can afford to rest players, yeah? And I expect us to rest players. If he went and played a full team today, we're all going to be going mad, right? Because we got a Premier League to fight for. But how do you feel about it in general? Because there's been a lot of talk about Everton. Everton resting so many players. And they were talking about it on TalkSport, right? TalkSport, Darren Bent and Goldstein, 4 o'clock. It's on my drive on the way home. So I always listen to it. It's a great show. And they were talking about whether Moyes got it wrong or not. And some Everton fans were phoning up and saying, nah, he done the right thing. Rest our players, keep them all fit for the Premier League. We want to finish in the top 10. And I just couldn't understand that. Because surely, if you're a team like Everton, if I was a team, if I supported Everton, listen, we ain't won a trophy in 6 years, but every year for the last since we got in the title race, I've been thinking, oh, we can win the Premier League. Since we've been back in the Champions League, I've been dreaming that we could win the Champions League, right? And before that, it was, oh, can we win an FA Cup, right? Can we get into the top four? But surely, if you support a team like Everton, Crystal Palace, for example, Nottingham Forest, like Nottingham Forest are going to be dreaming that they could win the Europa League this year, right? Surely Everton, they're not in Europe. So surely the best thing that could happen for them would be to win a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup. And Darren Bent's going, no, I get it. David Moyes has got to think about the league. I'm thinking, look, whether you finish 12th, 10th, 9th, does it really matter? All right, for the club, maybe, money-wise and stuff like that. But I just think that surely if you're a team that's not in Europe, surely the FA Cup or the League Cup has to be priority. If I'm David Moyes, I'm putting out my full team. They smoked Wolves earlier on in the season. So, yeah, for me, any of them smaller teams, look, last year, Newcastle, they won the Carabao Cup. And, of course, Crystal Palace won the FA Cup. So it is possible. So I just think you've got to start strong. It's different if you're playing a League One side. Everton were playing against Wolves, who they've already beaten once in the Premier League. And they played a completely different team and made 9 changes, which I think is, if I was an Everton fan, I would be fuming. But guys, who do you think's going to win the Carabao Cup? I don't know. I got a sneaky feeling that could be Arsenal's this year. It's been a long, long time since 1993. I was hoping Liverpool would go out yesterday, because if Liverpool went out, of course we would be the favourites. But yeah, I mean, look, if Liverpool get knocked out by someone, I think Arsenal got a huge chance. And if we have to play Liverpool along the way, then so be it. Can we beat Liverpool over 2 legs? Of course we can. Of course we can. Who are we most excited at? Today, I'm probably really excited to see Dalman come on. Obviously, I've missed Saka. All the talk of Madueke, but he done well. He got no goals, no assists. You're going to see Saka start getting the goals and assists now, that's for sure. Mr. Bukayo Saka, great to have him back. He's our best player. He's been our best player for the past, 5 years. So really, really excited to see how Saka gets on today. Hoping that him and Martinelli can have that link up. Really excited to see Martinelli through the middle. He's got so much pace. He scored 2 goals. And I'm glad to see Arteta's being, what's the word? The word this in my head, but I can't even think of it. But he's reacting. He's being reactive, right? He's reacting to what's happened. He's reacting to seeing, right? Reactive is what the word I was looking for. He's reacting to what Martinelli's done. Martinelli has scored 2 goals down the middle, and boom, now he's starting down the middle. I've got a little chance to do it in a game, in a Carabao Cup game, where we're probably going to win the game anyway. So let's see how he does. And I really hope that Martinelli can shine today through the middle. I've asked the question already. I think it was Robbo who answered me. I'm asking it again, guys. Who would you start down the middle? Would you on Sunday, if Martinelli scores 2 goals today and he has an absolute worldie and gets man of the match, do you start him or Gyökeres on Sunday? No doubt, right? Arteta would have a huge headache, right? And no doubt whatever one he did would be wrong if we don't win the game. And if he done it right, he'd rightly get the applaudits. And this is what I keep saying to everyone in football. Everything is so easy in hindsight, because even though, right, everyone keeps saying it was a negative lineup against Manchester City, but when I asked them who would you change, they just say Marino. Most people weren't too bothered about Trossard, right? So some people would rather Martinelli, some people would rather Eze, but then most people, they wanted Eze in the middle. So with Trossard and Martinelli, they both just got a goal and assist. So I don't think that was what pissed people off most. I think it was Marino playing against Eze, and obviously he corrected that at half time. So when people say the lineup, what they mean is one player out of the lineup, right? And look, had we won the game 2-0 convincingly and Marino scored, no one is talking about it. And Eze come on and had a good little cameo. Everyone's probably going, do you know what? Maybe he's got a point, but it didn't happen like that, right? What did happen was Eze came on and Arteta brought him on at halftime, and he came on and got the match saving assist. So look, I'm glad that happened. I'm glad that Eze came on and done something. Like, who else can do that pass at Arsenal? Maybe Odegaard, but I've not seen Odegaard do one of them passes for a long time. All I see is that flick, the little flick where he just sort of, you can't see my feet, but you know what I mean if you're an Arsenal fan. It's just like a little dink, and it never works. It never works. And I said to people before, listen, you will see Eze in the more central positions for Arsenal. Arteta is a man who likes to play players in all sorts of different positions. Just seen that obviously Hinatke is not on the bench. I think he picked up an injury, didn't? I was really looking forward to seeing him. A guy that we've had on our podcast, Anton, he's an Arsenal fan from the United States, and he tells me he watches a lot of German league football, Bundesliga, and he tells me that he is the best left back, he reckons, in Europe. But I'm not sure if he's going to be playing centre back for us or left back more for us. But what I will say today is about the lineup, right? If Saliba gets injured, Arteta's going to get absolutely pelted for it. When look, he needs to play today. Even against City, you could see that Saliba wasn't 100%, and I think that's why he's playing him today as well. Because there's not really much other centre backs he could have played, but he could have played Ben White at centre back, and he could have started Timber, anyone really. He could have chopped and changed it. It's only Portvale, but I think he wants Saliba to get the minutes, and that's why I was arguing with Dan, who I do this show with. You can see him here in your bottom right corner, because he said to me, just a picture of him, not him, but he said to me that he does not want to see. I don't want to see Saka nowhere near that team. That's what he said to me. And I said, no. I want to see Saka play. Players are coming out now through the tunnel. I said, I want to see Saka play. I really, really want to see him play. I want him to get minutes in his leg before Newcastle. I don't think he was meant to play against Manchester City. I don't think he was. But he did. He had to, obviously, because of the Madueke injury. We all know that now, that there was an injury. And I'm glad to see Saka playing. I want Saka to get goals. I want Arsenal to get goals. I want them to be hungry in this game. I want to see us score goals, get that feeling again. I want to see flowing football today, because we're not playing against a strong team now. All I want to see now is really good football. Arsenal on the front foot, attacking. I want to see us like an animal, right? A shark that smells blood. I don't care what league they're in, right? I want to see Arsenal on the front foot. What am I doing? That's what I want to see. I want to see Arsenal smashing this team today. I don't want to see no messing about at all. And I'm going for a 6-0 Arsenal win. 6-0 Arsenal win. Here is Mikel Arteta. Look at him there. He's having his interview. He's looking good. As always, Mikel Arteta. I can smell the Armani through the television. He's got his nice black jacket on. He looks confident. I think, I'm going for a 6-0 win. Let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know in the live chat. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe for us. We're a new channel. We've been on AFTV the last 2 times. Go and check that out. Me and Dan getting some really good comments. Go and drop some comments in those videos for us. If you just write in AFTV positive and negative, I think that's what they've tagged us in as, or even just Gooners Therapy. We were tagged in the first one. But yeah, man, it's going to be really interesting. Saka, this is his first start since we played Leeds, when we won 5-0. Do you remember that goal against Leeds? That was a great goal, wasn't it? That was a brilliant goal. Smashed it in right in the top corner. Portvale, big up to all the fans that have gone to Portvale today as well. So long way, A lot of my boys were going 5 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours from London. I think it's about 3.5 from London. Some boys live further out. Yeah, a lot of people I've travelled long to go and see the Arsenal. Go and see the Arsenal, and we've got the best away fans. If you've ever been to an away ground, you'll understand how good it is at them away grounds. It's fantastic. Arsenal's away support. All you will hear is the Arsenal supporters singing. Big up Port Vale as well, though, man. Big game for them. Really big game for them. Got the game kicking off in 15 minutes' time. Ethan Wanyeri today. Really happy to see him. What do we think about Norgard? I think Norgard's a decent signing, and I think throughout the season he could prove quite key, Norgard. Obviously it's good for him to play in these sort of games, but I think when the season goes on, he's going to be quite a good player to have. He's a leader. He's a Premier League captain, and I'm interested to see how Norgard should be bossing that today, right? He should be bossing that midfield today against a League One level team who've actually made some changes as well. I think he's got to be bossing that, and I just want to see Arsenal smashing this team. I want to see us. I don't want to see any boringness. I don't want to be 20 minutes in and the game's only 0-0. I don't want any of that. I want Arsenal hungry like lions. I want them to see this team like zebras, and I want Arsenal to be like lions. That's what I want to see, guys. Big up everyone in the chat. Like, subscribe if you haven't. Please, guys, get us up to 600 as soon as possible. That's the next milestone for Gooner's Therapy, for myself, Positive Dan, and Realist Gooner. Give me some predictions as well, guys. Don't be shy. Get in that live chat and let me know your predictions. Just watching here. Wonder what Jamie Redknapp thinks about it. He looks good, doesn't he, Jamie Redknapp, still for his age, man. He must be pushing 50. Geezer looks about 35. Yeah, let's hope to see Arsenal smash Port Vale today. How important is this Carabao Cup for Arsenal? I think it could be really important. Big game for Eze as well today, guys. Really big game for Eze. He's playing on the left today. I think he's going to get a lot more time on the ball. I think we're going to see something special from Eze today. Just watching him in our training before the game, I think we're going to see Eze on stuff. I think we're going to see something special from Eze today. There's so much talent on the pitch, man. So many creative players on the pitch, right? Eze, creative. Wanyeri, creative. Martinelli, creative to a certain extent, right? But he's an attacking player. Saka, the most creative of them all, right? That's five right there, So it's good to see. And even the midfield, obviously you've got Marino and Norgard, but you've got Wanyeri, you've got that little bit of spice thrown in. And that's what we were missing against City. That's what we were missing against Liverpool. And you know what? I didn't mind it too much against Liverpool because, look, you're away at Liverpool. You expect them to come onto you. And they're the champions and all of that. And even against Bilbao, it's a Champions League game. It's not win or bust sort of things. Against City, it was kind of win or bust, wasn't it? I know there's still a long way to go. But if we end up losing the title by 2 points, there'll be other games you can look at. Of course, that'll probably be more in your memory because it'll be more to the end of the season, but you will look back and there'll be games and you'll go, City, remember? Had we started as we might have won that game. So everyone knows that I'm positive Dan, and I'm trying to be positive. That was never my name. I'm Dan Daguna, as you can see it is here. That's my actual name. I got given the name, and Dan got given negative just by someone who saw the contrast between us as fans. But in general, I try to look even in life, I try to look on the positive sides. I'm a more glass full than glass empty sort of guy. And but with Arteta, I just think he's done a fantastic job for the club. And like I said, maybe I'm an old romantic and I just believe he deserves the chance to get this team over the line. But listen, there's not that much time for sentiment in football. So if he can't do it this season, then listen, if there's an adequate replacement, then I'm not going to be sitting there saying, oh no, it has to only be Arteta. I'm not going to. I love the guy. I want him to succeed. I want him to win the Premier League with Arsenal. I believe it will hit different if Arteta comes and wins the Premier League. Whereas if we just bring someone in and he kind of takes over what Arteta's done and wins it. Listen, I'm still going to be ecstatic. You ain't going to take the smile off my face for a good whole year. But if we done it with Arteta, I just feel like it would be even more special, considering he's an ex Arsenal captain, considering he's built this team himself. So it's like when you're watching a movie, guys, right? You're watching a movie, you're waiting for that happy ending. And right now, it's just a very long movie. It's like we're watching the Titanic. But obviously, it's a bad ending in the Titanic, so we don't want that, right? We do not want that. We want something more like Forrest Gump, right? Good endings. Match predictions, guys. Let us know your predictions, please. I'm going for 6-0 win to Arsenal. You heard it, 6-0 I'm going for. I'm going for Eze to get on the score sheet. Saka, I think, will get 2. Could Saka get his first Premier League, first hat trick for Arsenal? It's mad that Saka's never scored a hat trick. He scored 2 quite a few times and Arteta's hooked him off. But yeah, Arteta's the one who runs him into the ground. But I remember him taking him off quite a lot of times when he's been on 2 goals. I'm going for a Saka hat trick. What are you lot saying? I'm going for 6-0 and Saka to get a hat trick. Let me know in the comments, guys. And please, if you could like and subscribe. Let's see how many subs we've got up to now. Obviously, we've only been doing this a couple of months. I think we're on, what are we on? 5. Well, yes, I think we've just got 3 since I've done this. So that's good. Every single person who subscribed, big yourself up. Thanks a lot, man. I'm going to be coming with these pre-game build-ups a lot more, and also we're going to be doing we're going to be back tonight live doing the post-match. What do you think, guys? Obviously, I'm thinking about doing the watch-alongs, right? But I don't know. I've been told that you kind of have to wait until you're like really certified with like, I don't know, 10 to 20,000 subscribers until you can do that. But I'm thinking about trying it out soon. You know, I may even just see how it goes in the first 10 minutes of this game and see how we're doing. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Big up everyone who's always in the chat and who stays in the chat. Proper stuff. You guys, man, means a lot to us, man. Means so much to us, seeing as we're just a new channel and we're just trying to do everything we can to try and big the channel up. Just to let you know, guys, as well, every Tuesday at 3:45, I'm on the football terrace with Terry Flewers doing straight facts. Well, I say that I've been on the last few Tuesdays and he's asked me to come on next Tuesday. So yeah, hopefully that's going to be a continued thing for me. And it's a good show. It's a really good show. It's with myself and another Arsenal fan who's very, very negative, but he's a good guy. And then there's another guy on it called, I think it's LB. Yeah, it's LB, a Manchester City fan. He's got quite a big following. I think he's got about 30k subs. Any Man City fans, go and check him out. But yeah, I just think this game, man, I really don't want to be watching it 10 minutes in and just thinking what's going on here. I want to see us playing with some fluidity. I know it is going to be difficult where the teams never really played together. Like this collective 11 has obviously never played together before. But I just think there's so much experience in the team, man. Let's just go through it again, right? Look how much experience there is in the team. You got Martinelli, who's been about since he was 18 now. Saka's been about for years. Eze's 28, he's been about for years. Mikel Merino, seasoned professional. Norgard, 31 years old. You know what I mean? Former Premier League captain. Ben White, £50 million signing. Let's try and work out how much this team cost, right? Yeah, let's try and work it out. Ben White, 50 million. Kepa, 5. That's 55. Saliba, I think, was 25. 50, 55, 65, 80. Mosquera was 15, 95. Skelly was through the academy, 95. Norgard, 15, 110. Mikel Marino was what, 40, 150. Eze was 70, 220. Wow, 220 million pounds. This squad, this 11 that we've got out, guys, 220 million pounds against League One's Portvale. That is That is quite astonishing, isn't it? Let's see how much we got on the bench. Let's see how much we got on the bench, guys. Let's have a look, right? On the bench, we've got David Raya was what, 30 million or 35 million? Gabriel was, I think, 30 million. Timber was 35 million. Jokeres was, what, 70? Trossard was 27. Calafiore was like 40. Subamento, wow. Just forget about it, bro. Let's just stop there. Guys, the worst thing I could say is imagine we lost. Even me. How, could I ever back Arteta up again? Would I have a leg to stand on if we were to lose this game? I don't even want to say it, but I know it's virtually impossible to lose this game to Port Vale. The side's too strong. But I do remember when we used to make changes, yeah, and our team used to look awful, man. When we used to make changes, the team used to look so shit. Kolasniak, Mustafi, these fringe players that we used to have, man. Guys, drop me some of them to remind me, man. Remind me. Let's go through back to some of these comments. I think there was one that I missed. What was it? Kepa with his long balls and Saka, White, and Wanyeri link up. Yeah, you know what? You're right, NZ Guna. That Saka and Ben White link up. I've missed it, man. I have missed it for sure. I have 100% missed that link up. It's a really, really good link up. And I think that's going to be really, really important today. What are we thinking with the other games? Man City, they should beat Huddersfield. We're all playing League One teams. Newcastle, predicting them to win. Yeah, I think all of the Premier League teams. I was looking on Sky Bets, looking at bets, and every team's like 1 to 15 on. I was like, well, there's no money in this, is there? Let's have a check of these other games. We've got Europa League action tonight as well. But yeah, Man City, I'm going for obviously Man City to beat Huddersfield. Newcastle, they're the holders. They're definitely going to beat Bradford. They're at home. Spurs should beat Doncaster, but you never know. It is Spurs, right? Them games have all kicked off. Arsenal were kicking off in about 3 minutes' time. Come on, the Arsenal. Come on, you gooners. They're all in the tunnel now. Look at the boys. Go on, the Arsenal. Come on. Like I was saying, still really excited to watch this game, but you do just get that feeling, it's not as you're not as nervous. Do you know what I mean? You kind of watch the game in peace, and I just want to see Arsenal smashing the goals in today, man. Let's see who else. Let's see what City's lineup. Who've they gone with? Have they gone strong? City got Foden playing, Savinho, Gonzalez, Bob. Who's the striker? Oh, it's a youngster, isn't it? Yeah, so City have gone quite strong as well. They've got Stones. Yeah. Right, guys. I'm going to see you lot all after the show. Big up. Thanks for everyone that tuned in. Arsenal to win 6-0. We'll be back at 9:50 and Dan will be with me, Negative Dan. Hopefully it's a good, positive show. Thanks for everyone watching. Thanks for anyone who liked and subscribed. Here's the lineup now for Portvale. I'm going to be real. I don't know any of these players. If anyone knows any of these players, let me know. If there's any players that you know, I don't know any of them. But yeah, let's I think we'll wrap it up there. I was thinking about perhaps maybe letting it go on throughout the game, but we'll do it another time. And thanks for everyone who's watched and was watching. And I'll see you after the game. Come on, Arsenal. Let's go.